Everyone, it's Monday 12th of December, so about time I did an update. I've had a few problems here, my camera's been playing up, so I had a problem, the battery wouldn't charge, so I managed to get it up and running again. So hopefully, fingers crossed, it should be fairly problem free now. So I've done a few little bits, nothing major, since my last update, which I can't remember, October or something, I don't know, it was a while ago. I said this year's, it's been a bit hit and miss, but I want to get back into it again next year. So, but I don't want to be starting next year off by doing a load of prep work, so I'm hoping to do most of it over the winter. Done a little bit, still got some stuff to clear at the allotment. So I went down a couple of weeks ago and took some horse muck down, because this big tarpaulin here is covering, half of the mound of horse muck I had here. I ended up buying some this year. It cost me about 40 quid. It worked out as about 32 barrel loads altogether, so it's not bad, well rotted. So I've still got that chunk left. Put some down in the garden. I've still got one half the garden to tidy up because it's as it was. All my blighted spuds are still in the pot, so the tops are dead and draped over and stuff. So it's a bit of a mess everywhere really. I've got a fair bit to do, but I've been kind of hoping, either for a good frost to make the ground, so I can walk on it, but it's just not happening. And it's wet in the garden here, so I know it's going to be very wet down the plot. But I'm just going to have to get on with it because I can't be leaving it into next year, because I need to, in case I get busy at work again, I need to use what time I've got next year to actually be gardening rather than do the prep work. So there's no real structure to what I'm going to do and when I'm going to do it. Just got a lot of stuff to do, so I'm just going to get on with it. So whatever goes in this video, goes in this video. It's forecast rain today and tomorrow, because I'm off today and tomorrow. It usually happens, it rains when I'm off, but it's not looking too bad at the moment. It's not too cold, it's not a lovely day, but we'll just get on with stuff. So I'm going to have my brew, and I better put some boots on because I can't do anything in these slippers. So and I shall see you in a bit. Oh, right, I better uncover this. What we've got. So I'll be glad when this winter's over. Driving me insane, get bored quite easy in the going to work in the dark and coming home in the dark. It's no fun. I should just flip off now. I'm not quite sure what this is now. It's some sort of very currant bush, but it's got a lot of fresh green buds all over it. Right. Just better keep this all covered up and that, so it doesn't wash all over the place. It's not laid on the flags, it's actually on the tarp, another tarpaulin. So it's not ideal when it's windy. Looking about there we go. Big pile of horse muck. When it was delivered, I went to the compost heap and I got a good load of worms and, threw them in to it. Just because I didn't know how long it was going to be sat here for, just helps the breakdown process, and obviously they'll lay eggs in it and stuff, which all helps. Yeah, there's a few worms in there. Get it all uncovered. I'll get it this far now, it was pour down with rain probably. Right. These bags. So that's all I'm going to do really, is take it down bed at a time. I've still got some chippings that's all bagged up down the plot because I had 2 beds with lettuce and stuff in, but obviously they'll be done now, they will. So I'm not going to video bagging all this up, it's pointless. I do prefer to use a spade for this. A fork, you tend to flick it about everywhere, so just use a spade. Simply empty compost bags. And then about 12 of these, fill these up, stick it in the van, take it down the plot, bar it all over there, tip it out, and then repeat that until I've got enough there. And mainly most of this for garden really, it's not been fed for a long time. We'll put it up in my raised beds as well. So that's all I'm going to do. You know, it's with it being covered up, it's not got all heavy and waterlogged, you know, which is what I wanted. Because I mean, when I got it, when it was delivered, it was quite wet, so I thought, well, I'll leave it sat and it should drain down, you know, makes it, you know, not as heavy to carry about. It's still quite heavy like, but you know, it's well rotted. But thing is, with manure, you never quite know what seeds are in it, so it's a gamble. It's not something I usually do, buy manure, and I usually have to rot me home. So I'll get on with this boring sort of job. It's hard graft, but gets you off your backside this time of year, I suppose. Right, so I better get on with this. Right, got here, finally, about 4 hours later than planned, because it's been chucking it down. So I thought I'm not going to barrow all that horse muck over in the rain, so I only expected it to be a bit of a shower actually, but it's hurled it down. So I'd loaded the van up by 10 o'clock this morning and it is now 25 to 3, so I ain't got long and it'll be dark. So got some sulphate of ammonia here. You know, so before I put some manure on the top of these, I'm just gonna, you know, just scatter a bit on the old bark chippings. Just puts a bit of nitrogen in the bed. You know, there'll be some in the horse muck and that, but it just helps the break down a bit. Right, it seems a bit odd, you know, putting manure on top of the bark, but I'm not going to rake it off. I'm just adding layers, you know, so it's either or really. Okay, manure is a bit darker, so any sun, say that word, sun, any sun we get, it'll warm the beds up a little bit more quicker with the dark manure than it will reflecting off a lot of the light coloured bark. You know, and it's soaked up a bit of water, so not like it's going to dry out. Well, not in this country, it's not anyway. So I've not really had a look around proper yet. The leaves on the old brassicas are yellowing off. I think some with broccoli. I'll probably just end up taking a load of that tomorrow, just to get it out of the way. Then I can. I want to try and be here as little as possible over the winter months, and just sort of like get it kind of ready. So then got a bit of chance for the ground to even out on the paths and everything, rather than traipsing through it all in the winter. I mean, I come down when there's a really hard frost or something, you know, because I've got a few greens here. They're a bit slow going, but if I get stuck for my tortoise, there's always the option. I've got these here. I mean, these lettuce, yeah, there's some I can pick and tidy them up, but I'm just going to get rid of them. So I'll get the camera, let's look around, just hang that in there, watch the wobbly footage. Oh, just hope it doesn't rain, so I'll get a bit of a time to do something. So all I've done basically is, you know, I've got my raspberries, I've trimmed them off, I put sort of, you know, there's only a thin layer of manure on that. Manure around my blueberry bushes, I need to get in there and prune at some point. Strawberries are like, you know, I ended up just cutting them all right down, so I mean, they're coming back slowly. Asparagus bed, all chopped down, and all I've done is I've manured like a ridge down the middle and a ridge each side, and the gap where the crowns come through, this spindly thing that's gone now, gap down each run there with hardly any manure on it, well, none really. I can see the old compost underneath, that'll still allow them to come through next year. So I mean, I think you can just put it level across, but I just thought I'll do it like that, then they're not fighting through like a big 3 or 4 inch layer of manure. Let the worms sort of even it out. So these lettuce, you know, they're knackered on the outside, but I mean there's the middle still. But I'm just going to lop them off, we composted. I might actually just lop the heads off, chop them up on the bed and cover it over. You know, because I've got some bark to shove down, some leaves and that, turnips. Just had a major swell. I didn't get here for about 3 weeks and they were massive, so compost bin can have them. This endive, you know, same as this. I mean, because I wasn't picking it often enough, it got big, you know. But that's, you know, I could carry on tidying them up and carry on picking these, you know. But I'm not bothered for what it is. You know, I need to get it shut down and start the prep work now. This is all that silver birch, you know, chippings I've put in. You know, it's I've just put sulphate of ammonia over them and help it all break down. Because I've no lawn clippings or anything at the moment, so it's, you know, it's all starting to go now underneath. So if I put a layer of manure over the top of it, it encases it, and obviously I think a lot of the wood chippings and that will absorb a lot of the nutrients out of the manure. Hopefully hold on to them a little bit, you know, use up what they need. And hopefully, if there's no seeds in the manure, which there probably will be, I don't know, I might pay the price for it, I don't know. We'll just see what happens next year. So yeah, broccoli, mix and match size. There's a little one there, and then I've got one, you know, it's about 4 or 5 inches there. You know, but I've got kale, plenty of that. You know, but I've got a load of small broccoli heads, so I might just lop them, and any side shoots that fall through the winter months, you know, pick them, you know, next year early on, and then just clear it sort of like, you know, February time, ready for the, you know, the quick flick over before the old spuds go in. All these down here, they're just field beans. I didn't get them in soon enough because it was just, I don't know, it just went cold, and it got cold quick and it went wet, you know. And then obviously there's a load of birds came down pecking them off, so I just thought I'll leave them be. I'll worry about this bed, you know, when the time comes. You know, I've ordered my spuds, they're not being delivered till February the 6th. Not sure what varieties I'm doing now. I think first day I've got one called Casablanca, which I usually do Duke of York, but I think Duke of York I'm missing this year. So the other one's the usual, Maris Pear, Orla and King Edwards. So I better get cracking on with something before it goes dark. Just put you back on tripod. Sorry about a wobbly picture. I think that's it, probably out of level. Flip my screen around. Right, so yeah, basically so what I'm going to do is just, I've got the 12 bags of manure here. I'm going to put not a big layer on each, because I'll probably bring another 12 over tomorrow. I'll see how far 12 gets me, you know, so and get away with probably 4 on each of the big beds, you know, and then maybe just a couple on the small beds, and that'll do, I think. Because I say I've got enough chippings to, I'll cap these other 2 beds off for chippings, and then manure them, and then I'll when I've finished adding everything, I'll just put a membrane over the top and lock them off for winter then. Right, so I'll get on with some stuff and I'll put the camera on as and when I can, but I'll probably put, because I'm running out of light, so it's probably going to end up being last thing, or maybe even tomorrow before I video anymore. So not the best video in the world, but it just shows you what I'm getting up to anyway. So right, I shall get on before the dark comes. Right, I've put manure on the other the two big beds and 2 little ones. Cleared these 2 beds, put chippings on that. I'm just sort of try and squeeze what I can out of the light and try and get this capped off. At least it rains tonight, it saves me trying to wet it down tomorrow. I've not put as much in this bed because not a lot of room in it, to be honest. So it's a bit of a no frills, lob it on, bash it about a bit. But got quite a bit done actually. It's only 4:15. Don't know what time it was when I had the video on when I got here, can't remember now. 2:45, can't remember now. No, 25 to 3, so not bad. Just got to get some more stuff over here tomorrow, some more manure. That's the hard slog, I really don't enjoy that bit. It's not too bad if you've got somewhere to put it on your plot, but I ain't got a lot of room on here, to be honest, and because this year's been a bit of a make it up as you go along. The aim is trying to get back on top of it so I don't have to do any of this next year. I've got some old potato compost, which I'll probably put on top of the manure. Mainly if I'm sowing any seeds, it's just something to sow the seeds in, because obviously the manure is a bit coarse, a bit lumpy for some seeds. So I feel like beetroot and stuff like that, but when you've got some lettuce seeds, it's easier to do plants, to be honest. I tend to do the seeds later on in the year. Like I did these, I put a load of lettuce seeds in, just sort of like sow a row, and then when you thin them out, spread your thinnings out across the bed. I'll have to check on my own videos. I can't remember what rotation it is this year. I think onions go in this bed behind me, and then it'd be peas and stuff here in this bed, and brassicas down in that bed. Because that was my first year on YouTube doing gardening. It was that way around. Time fly. So try and get this done, and then because my paths are an absolute mess now walking about, that's what I didn't want to do. Which, it's not what you can do about it, to be honest. I'm used to it. Every plot I've had every year, winter time, it's just so wet. I was hoping the grass would help it out a bit, but it's only a bit first year with grass and that, so it's trying to get enough stuff so you can cap it off, as you finish harvesting things, really. And it saves you doing this, because it used to be right down the bottom. It's really manky, but it tends to be up in front of my shed now. Still got 2 bags of chippings left, so I might actually use them on my path in front of the shed, but then again I might keep them, because they're out for, in case I want to mulch around anything next year. A couple of bags, they're out for out blueberries and stuff, because I can put a bit of sulphur in there and be like a bit of a slight acid release, and carry on watering with the old diluted vinegar. Don't need much, it's probably once every few weeks, about 15-20 ml of vinegar in a 10 litre watering can, and don't do it if it's bone dry, obviously it'd be a big hit of acid. you know, and they might not like it. You know, it just obviously it leaches out over time, because this soil here is, you know, it is sort of that, you know, number 7, you know, on the alkali and acid ratio thing. So it's, you know, it is tricky to get the ground acidic, you know, unless if you sheet under the ground, you know, dig a big hole about a metre square and line it with some sort of membrane or something to slow the leach down, and get some ericaceous compost and do it that way. But you know, I can't go wrong. I mean, my blueberries did fantastic actually this year. I mean, all you know, considering, you know, it's been a, you know, not the best year for me. You know, I've been like way behind on planning. It was kind of just jump on and get going. I've done all right. You know, I didn't get out and collect leaves. I say work's just gone crazy. You know, finding the time, and then when, you know, you get the time comes, it's the weather's terrible, and you keep thinking, well, I'll wait until it's fine, and then it gets to this, and you think, well, I've no choice now. I have to go down and get it done, because obviously this stuff needs time to settle. You know, because I don't want to be putting like manure down and whacking onions and garlic straight in it. You know, I'd like to give it a couple of months to settle down. You know, to mellow out a bit. You know, I know some people, you know, don't you know, put onions in manure, but it's well rotted, and I'm not putting like massive amounts on. Just a thin layer, and obviously it's got the chippings underneath it. So you know, these will help aerate, you know, the sort of the subsurface where all the life goes on. You know, and probably 12 to 18 months there won't be a single trace of this stuff here. It'll be all soil. You know, I'm giving it quite a good capping this year of the chippings and whatnot. It's had a good top on it, so it's not somewhat bad for weeds next year. You know, I'd like to just try and get a few leaves and mow them up and chop them, and then just put a layer of them on and cover them over, and sort of like be done by, you know, October. You know, maybe just have, you know, one of these upper beds still sort of carrying on. The trick is, you see, you know, it goes on to brassicas next year, which are down this end. You know, it's not too bad if you just got one bed working and you're not having to keep walking about. You're not actually physically doing stuff in the wet. You're just coming down and having a harvest, and traipsing across a field, because it is back breaking. It's like trying to push a wheelbarrow across a sponge. Your front wheel's sinking in. It's not great. You know, and people say, oh, why do you do it? Sometimes you wonder why. So I might actually post a question to people in a video just before Christmas or something, and then, you know, it was a bit like that, I suppose, that allotment challenge thing last year, the Q&A thing. You know, ask maybe 1 or 2 questions and see if, you know, you lot can spread it around and get some answers. So when people ask you those questions, and obviously a lot of other people's answers, you know, will be the same, they just might not realise it. You know, because sometimes you think, well, why do I do it? You know, you see it some places, it's nice and, you know, it's cheap, and you think, well, good God, you know, the amount of graft I put in, the time, you know, is it really worth it? You know, but it is a hobby for some people, and, you know, it's a hobby with a return. Not like a hobby with, you know, you just get pure pleasure out of, you know, because obviously you get pleasure out of it, but it gets fresh air in your lungs, gets you outside, and it keeps you mobile. Because it is depressing this time of year when winter, there's nothing going on, looking out the window and it's grim all the time. So right, that's me done for today. Oh, I know it's not the greatest video, but, you know, the camera's just got working again, so I thought, well, I'll do something, and then, you know, hopefully next year will be a better year. Right, I'm going to get cleared up and go home. Right, so I'll see you tomorrow. Right, it's day 2. I wasn't going to actually come because it's been chucking it down all day, so I've just got here. It's 3 o'clock in the afternoon, and it's just waterlogged everywhere. It's just sloppy. I didn't want to be doing this, but I've got to do it. So obviously yesterday evening I finished off running out of light trying to cap these off best I can see. Obviously it's rained on them, which helps me out in some ways, but so I'm just going to get these 2 beds capped off with manure and then call it a day then now for a couple of weeks. So all I have to do is come back and prune my blueberry bushes, harvest some broccoli and just put the covers on these. Hopefully a frost will come, or I'll have a dry week for some of the soil to drain down a little bit. So not the best video, so I'll get my rake because it's in the shed. Just in case I need it. Not there. Got my stainless steel fork. I use it for knocking it about a bit. I don't know why, there's a lot of noise when I'm doing videos, I don't know why. So I just hope this microphone isn't buzzing, because I know it has a habit of buzzing sometimes, so if it has, I'm sorry, there's not a lot I can do about it. I have to try and make the videos on a bit of a budget. Oh, Christ. Yeah, I got up intentionally this morning to come down. Raining, and then I thought so, no, I'm not going to bother, and then I thought I need to go and get it done because it just ain't going to dry up now, you know, not until next year. No matter how long I wait, it's not going to be dry. By the time it's dry, it's ready to plant. So I thought I just need to put up with getting cold and wet, covered in mud and slop. Not like it's the first time I've had it, and then get it done so I can crack on with growing next year. You know, I don't mind little tiny jobs over the winter months, the lighter stuff, but kind of concentrate on doing work, doing a bit of the indoor hobbies like the guitar and stuff like that, and then come springtime, pull covers off and put a bit of compost on, or I might, when I come down next, I might just tip some compost on them, cover them up and leave it like that then. It's hard work, this knocking this stuff about. Would much rather dig it in, but I don't want to bring all the stuff up from down below. I left actually a lot of the roots from the lettuce in. I just sheared the tops off with a spade. So it's not a real thick layer of manure, it's just a little something. You know, it's better than nothing. Can just knock it about and get it somewhere near. I'm not bothered it mixing in with shavings and that, 'cause it's all going to rot down. I mean, the actual beds will be full of worms because I want to be getting out of the wet soil, so they'll be up in the raised beds anyway, so hopefully when I get the covers on, the odd sunny day, I might actually come up and do a bit. But if not, just break down on its own accord. You know, because most of the stuff I do is plants anyway. And I do a lot of seed sowing in modules and that, because just kind of control it a bit better. But yeah, I'm skimping it to 4 bags. So I just have to spread it out best I can, which is said and done when it's a bit wet and claggy. But one of them things, isn't it? It's no great fun doing this, but it's no fun sat at home knowing what needs to be done. You think, well, sod it, I'll go out and try and do something. So it's knackering my paths up, but it's just a normal sort of thing I'm used to. It's one of the first jobs I do in the spring when it's dry enough is try and tart my paths up a little bit, and then when the days warm up, the grass can grow again. I mean, I would bark them or gravel them and things like that, but it's just the cost effectiveness of it, you know. It's alright for those, you know, who haven't got a garden at home and that, you know, like to sit at the plot, just relax, but I don't have that sort of time to do stuff, so just pretty much as long as I can get access to my beds, I don't get moaned at for it looking a mess, which I don't, by the way. You know, I always try and make sure I keep everything under control. I don't let it get too overgrown, because there are a few plots on here that they've either given up, you know, or they're just taking a year off, but their plots are a mess. And, you know, and it's not on really. I mean, you're not going to do anything on it for a while. At least try and keep the weeds down, because all your seeds spread onto everyone else's plot. You know, but a lot of people don't think that way, because they don't really know what's involved in it. You know, in an allotment, that it's not just about growing, it's just about maintaining. You know, you can't expect it all to be perfectly easy, because it's far from it. It's hard graft, you know, so if you haven't got the time to maintain your plot, either share a plot with someone or just grow in pots at home. You know, because there are still a lot of people that want plots. You know, and it's funny sometimes to see the amount of plots that are like not used. You know, you get some you know, bloke or woman's had the name on waiting list for months or years. You know, he's really keen and he's got the time. You know, and it's you'd be surprised, these younger ones, you know, including me. I'm not old, but I am one of the younger ones on here. Well, I think I'm the youngest on here, to be honest. You know, but some of the younger ones tend to just come down, do a bit, huff and puff and go home, and you don't see them for months. You know, you get some of the die-hard ones, the elderly ones, who love it. No credit to them. You know, learn a lot from them. You know, because they're all from the old school gardening, where it's all about you only get what you put in. So you don't put the time in or anything, you ain't going to get nothing out. And it's a basic, simple principle. Well, I know this hasn't been the best of my videos, but I thought I better do something. One, to make sure my camera's still working. I've had this camera for about 9 years now. You know, and I know it's not the best quality. You know, neither is the sound. You know, some people have got brilliant quality videos and stuff. You know, which is all well and good. You know, it's okay if you can do that. You know, you don't need all the high-tech quality stuff. You know, because at the end of the day, most of the YouTube gardeners don't make anything from it. They don't do it for any purpose apart from really to help other people out. I have another purpose. It does help me sort of like keep a diary of what I did and when, so as it used to. But you know, it's just about sharing tips, you know, ways of doing things, not necessarily, you know, the right way, but just the different ways. You know, and it's a lot of people, including myself, they get a system that works for them, and they kind of stick to it. That system doesn't work for everyone, and that's perfectly fine. But it is frustrating sometimes. You get some comments, you know, just seem to moan. You know, and you think, well, we don't do this, you know, for any purpose apart from, you know, there's no money involved or anything like that. I don't get anything out of it, you know. But it is nice to look back. But it's also, you know, there's no need to be nasty in some comments. You know, yeah, you can always share advice or say like, well, I did that once myself and it didn't work out for me, so you did something else. But we all live all over the world, so things work better in some places than it does for others. It's taken years for people to start switching on to this no dig. There's been so many gardeners that have gone on about it, but some, you know, get a little stuck in the ways and a bit like, oh, I don't want to do that. And that's fine. If whatever they do works for them, that is great. I mean, if I had all the time in the world, I wouldn't really bother with the no dig beds, I suppose, because I could just potter away at my own will. But when I've got the time factor, I need to do it so I can spend less time hoeing and weeding, more actually getting the job done of growing something. You know, because one, I have too many hobbies, two, I work, you know, and I don't really get much help with everything. To be honest, a lot of the things I get with this is grief, to be honest. It's caused me a lot of hassle in the past, but shouldn't have to change for anyone really. People just don't get it. That's okay too, that's their choice. Right, it's enough waffle. I'll get that bed done and I'm going to go home. So thanks for watching, take care, and I'll see you in the next video, which will be before Christmas. I'll put another one up before Christmas. Maybe do some other bits, maybe in the gardens, let's see how the garden's going on. Right, so I'll crack on with this and get on, because it's no fun this. Alright, thanks for watching, take care, see you next time, bye.